Hello friends, this is Music Man from his man cave, and today we're going to talk about on stupid with money, do-it-yourself things. Can you do some things yourself, or do you need to always call in the pros with their big, expensive bills? Let's talk about it right now. This is Music Man from his man cave. And this is another episode of Stupid with Money. And it is hard to believe so many people literally waste money calling in professionals when it's something they could simply do themselves. Like, say, an oil change on a 4-cylinder Toyota Camry. Unbelievable. Absolutely unbelievable. Now, I do understand there's an age you get to where you don't want to lay on the ground anymore. You don't want to lay on the rolling thing and get under the car and fix the car. I understand that. But that's not who I'm addressing. I'm addressing those that this is actually geared more toward the younger generation, where they are, when it comes to cell phones, they're geniuses. When it comes to computers, there's nothing they can't do. But when it comes to changing the oil in the car, what? I don't know how to do that. They come driving by and their belt is squealing. I don't know how to tighten a belt. It's just amazing to me. You ask them to go out and do the simplest thing, like turn on the sprinkling system or whatever. I don't know how to do that. And so we're raising a generation of people that literally are completely dependent on someone that's a professional. Now, there is a place for the pros. Absolutely. There's some things you deal with that you need to call in the pros. You probably shouldn't be dealing into an electrical box yourself unless you have experience. And I was an electrician's assistant for 5 years with the Corps of Engineers. And I will tell you, you can get yourself killed, especially if you open an old box called the Widowmaker. But there's a lot of things you can do yourself. Can you put in your own windows? Yes. Can you do plumbing work? Yes. You just need to know where the shutoff valve is, and you need to know how to work with basically 3 different types of plumbing. PVC is very easy, but watch out for dripping the purple stuff on anything. It stains. Copper is very easy. It just takes a little bit of skill. You have to have a torch, a blowtorch, and you have to have flux, and you have to sandpaper, and the metal, whatever, I don't know what kind of metal that is, but, and so you have to have a little bit of skill there. And basically, if you had someone show you just a few times, you're going to catch on. It works pretty nifty. And then there's galvanized pipe, and you're going to find that in some older homes. And how hard is that to replace? Not hard at all. You basically need some pipe wrenches. And you're going to need probably some Teflon tape, and you're going to probably, or you might need, I like the Teflon tape the best. You wind it around the threads, and it makes it so it doesn't leak. And you need to understand how unions work and such. The bottom line is there's a lot of things that you can do, especially with plumbing. Can you change out, a valve yourself? Absolutely. That's not anything tremendously dangerous. The worst thing that can happen is it can leak or you can get wet. So you need to know how to change washers that wear out on, old faucets and things. Yeah, or I'd replace that with something better. The bottom line is that plumbing can be done. Car maintenance, oil changes, easily done. Basically, you need to have a wrench to unscrew the plug underneath, and you need to drain the oil out. You need to change the oil filter on those Camrys, the 5S FEs. It's right there on the front of the motor. You don't want it. You want it about hand tight, and just a little tighter than that. You don't want to tighten it on with a wrench or anything. So the bottom line is there's a lot of things that you can do, and if you can pour oil out of a container, you can change your own oil. So the bottom line is you want to learn to do as many things as you can because it's money. You call a professional out to change a section of your pipe, he's going to charge you $70 an hour. Well, I'm probably way low. Right now, plumber's going, what? Don't tell him that. I charge $100 an hour. Bam. I mean, if you call a plumber out, wow, expensive. You take your car to a dealership or even a local mechanic, something you could do for a few $100s can turn into $1,000. Quick, really quick. And so you need to know how to do some basic things on your car. And you can even look right here on YouTube, and there's a lot of examples of how to change brakes. I can tell you one mistake not to do. Don't ever push the brake pedal while you're changing the brakes. It's hard to get those cylinders back, you know, where they belong. You have to have a special tool. So those are things that you need to learn. Not learn it like me the hard way. You can learn how to change the brake fluid. You can learn how to change your antifreeze. You can do that. You can learn how to change your steering fluid even. It's not hard. I mean, these things are just not hard. You can change your own fluids. You don't need to take it to a mechanic who's going to charge you probably $500 to do something like that. Cars now can easily, with just changing, doing what I'm saying, some of the things I'm saying, can easily go 150, 200,000 miles. Probably without even doing those things. And so these are things that you can do. Can you change your own tire? If you can't change a tire, you need to go to someone who can and learn. It's ridiculous to be sitting there by the highway and stranded for an hour waiting for someone to come and help you change a tire. That is just laziness. That is just sloth. That's just ridiculous if you ask me. And I've seen it. People that sit there and just can't do anything. Or they can't even jump their car. Their battery's dead and they can't even, they don't even know how to use jumper cables. Because they're afraid they might blow up the battery. No, it's pretty simple. Red to the plus, black to the minus sign on the battery. You'll be fine. I actually had one time a relative that wouldn't let me jump the car. I think he was impatient. He just thought that he needed a pro to come out and jump his car. And it was just a dead battery. Or a lot of times it can be the alternator, which leads to a dead battery. And so you can do these things. A lot of things you can do. Now, a lot of things you can't do. Now, I put a whole new electrical system in a house, so I know how to do that. You got to always make sure you shut off the electricity. If you don't have experience with those things, make sure that you have a friend or someone show you, or you can kill yourself by getting electrocuted. Make sure the power is off to that outlet. And there's simple little devices you can buy that will help you to do that. So do it yourself. Always do it yourself? No, not always. There's some things that are going to be beyond you. And you need to recognize that. Like, I know that the next time I had to re-roof my house several years ago because a hailstorm came through and just beat holes in our asphalt shingles. So I got up there and with friends, and thank you friends for helping me, we re-roofed it. And then those new shingles are very easy. You just have to cut them certain lengths, and you have to line up the blue lines. And I borrowed an air gun from another teacher, and then used a hammer to really make it flush and nice and neat. But I realized that was the last time I would be able to do that. My knees couldn't take it, and my back couldn't take it. So the next time that my house is going to be re-roofed, I know I'm going to have to pay probably $7,000 to $10,000 to do that. So, because by the time 30 years passes, I'm going to be almost in the grave. And I'm not going to climb up there and re-roof that. No way. So there are times that you have limitations of what you can do. And there will come a time when you'll start driving less, and the maintenance on the car, you will save up and you'll want to have somebody else do it. But like I said, this is geared toward things that you can do. You can save yourself big money if you learn to not panic and be able to work on some basic things. Be able to figure some things out. Learn how to defrag your own computer. You know what I mean? Learn how to install your own virus software. I mean, there's a lot of things that you can do. Now, probably you're saying, oh, I can do that. But can you change the oil on a car? Can you change your transmission fluid? Can you put new antifreeze in every 5 years? I can't believe some people just drive, Never change the antifreeze. Ugh. It loses its properties to protect. You need to change that antifreeze every 5 years. You do. So anyway, Music Man, learn to do some things yourself. It's going to save you big money. And other things that are beyond you, um, don't be too proud to have friends help, to have relatives help. It's not a big deal. Try to stay away from pros. I know they got to make a living, but good grief, that's a lot of money to spend. I had a guy one time come in just to change a seat on one of my faucets that's been updated since then. He was only here for 5 minutes and he charged me $50. Cha-ching! $50 every 5 minutes? I want that pay. Music Man. Talk to you again soon.